episode of What Would Zay Say? Now, usually I get into the actual factuals of relationships, but this episode is a little different because we're going to be discussing parenting. And joining me with this topic, I have Sai, Miss Harmonize and Heal with Sai.
Peace, love, and healing. Thank you all for joining us. I'm so excited for tonight's episode.
All right, also DJ Tiny.
Yeah, what's going on? How you feeling? What's the deal?
All right, and then DJ Banks, what's up?
What up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the room.
All right. So in the last episode, we started speaking about parents who are not involved in their children's lives and the reason why they disappear from their children. But we didn't really get much into detail because we ran out of time. So I'm going to start this off with my main question of what is the true cause of deadbeat parents?
Let's get into what does deadbeat mean?
Yeah, that's the first part.
Hold on. Let's tell them y'all can call in here live at 516-206-0711, and y'all can call in and talk to them live and direct.
Yes, any questions, comments, feel free to call in. We're here to listen.
Amen. So what is the definition of a deadbeat to you guys?
A parent who's not involved in their child's life, which
Now,
I don't understand, because why are you having children if you don't want to have anything to do with them?
Well, let's get juicy with it.
Well, let's get into this. Let's put out there what the difference between being a single parent and a parent who's not with the child's parent. If you are raising your child alone, you have no help from the person that you had a child with, that's a single parent. If you're not in a committed relationship with the person that you had a child with, but they are involved, then you're not a single parent. And that's what a lot of people get confused.
Yeah. That's a good definition. I like the way you put that, because that's definitely right about that.
Thank you. I just had to put that out there because people are always saying, well, I'm a single mother and I don't have any help. No, you're not a single mother. You're a single woman.
It becomes bittersweet ends when people part ways. And then, we try to make it about the kid, right? And some people abuse about the kid while others ignore it. You know what I mean? So, like from one side, like a woman may be like, you know what? We're not together, but I want you to do everything that you would do if you was living in the house with me. And I don't feel like that's actually possible unless he's just doing for the child. Because like we broke up, right? And our only thing that keeps us even communicating is the child. So I feel like when it comes to parenting from like a guy to like from a dad to a mom, right? Like sometimes both parties tend to allow their misfeelings interfere with being a parent to the kid because they're so lost in their own BS.
And that's the issue, because children don't choose to be here. So they shouldn't have to suffer because of your insecurities or your issues with their parent. And that still doesn't make sense to me. Even if you don't want to deal with the person that you have a child with, you can take the child and go off and do your own thing, bring them back when it's over. A lot of people like to use that as an excuse.
Because, you got some of them women that I don't want my kid around no other woman. I don't want my kid involved with other kids. Like they be putting a lot of regulations
well, then
when
don't
it comes
complain when your child's other parent is not around.
I know, but this is what some of the men got to go through sometimes.
It's the other way.
No,
it's not just deadbeat fathers. They're deadbeat mothers too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just because the kid live in your house, right, don't mean that you're not a deadbeat. Because there's a lot of women that sit there on their backsides and allow the siblings to raise the children, and they're not really putting their all into it because, again, they lost in their own nonsense. And they're not focused on the real objective. Like you said, if you had a kid, you should be there to raise the kid and give that kid love, give him nurturing, give him like somebody to come to and relate to. But if you're like laying sideways, giving direction sideways, like why the hell should I listen to you? Like you can't even stand up and talk to me. So like like I said, it's a lot of different levels, because like the deadbeat is not just the missing parent. Sometimes it could be the missing stuff that the living parent is not giving.
Absolutely.
Well, sometimes the living parent doesn't know what to do.
Right.
So, but you
And-
can't blame them for that.
No, you can't. And sometimes, right, depending on the situation, because like, you know, monetarily, you know, sometimes things get a little rough and you can't be there monetarily. But yeah, you could be there physically, but then maybe you might be grinding to try to just make like your ends meet for that time.
You know what some of these deadbeat women are? The deadbeat women are the ones that goes out to the clubs 90% of the time and leave their kids with their mother or the grandparents for the grandparents to raise.
You talking about? He's talking about like those 7-day runners.
Yeah, the 7-day run.
Like there's chicks that have a hookah tip in their mouth every night, but you saw them at least 6 months ago in the delivery room having a baby.
Absolutely.
And it's like, yo, bro, I understand you need your time for yourself. I'm not taking that from you. But if you in the hookah club every night, bro,
nah,
like,
that's not good.
Hold on, wait a minute though. But what if you're in the hookah club after you have done a whole day's worth of being with your child and then putting them to sleep and then going out and doing your thing?
I don't
But
take
I think they're
nothing
just
from
saying
that.
no,
you
But
shouldn't
it's
be
like,
going out so often.
No, I'm
Why
not
not?
saying. Listen, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to go out. What I'm saying is, when you go out, you're leaving your kids with somebody else to raise.
like,
And so if your child's sleeping,
yeah, no, that's some. Like I said, like I just feel like everything comes in like moderations. Like not saying that you can't go out 7 days a week. You're a grown person, so you can do whatever you desire. You
Now,
know?
when you have kids,
no, but
now when you have responsibility,
some people can.
you have responsibilities, man. Yo, once you
But
got
once-
responsibility, sometimes you got to put your own personal gripe to the side to raise what you brought into this world.
I beg to differ in the sense, because like she said, once you put the kid down, what are you gonna do? Sit there and actually look at them lay there? like seriously, like
Right.
perception. You know, perception. Even though you don't like, you're your own person, you don't care what people think of you, right? But perception may bring that type of stigma to you without somebody not knowing. They like, yo, she always out in the streets, and don't she got like 5 kids? How she got 5 kids and she always in the streets?
I'm with you on that, responsibilities, because actually one of my close friends was asking me if she told me she was pregnant, would I be happy for her? And I said no. Honestly, no, I would not be happy for you. Just because we're close doesn't mean I'm going to support you. You don't work, you don't drive, you still live with your mother, you're in your 30s, you're not in a committed relationship, so there's nothing happy about you bringing a baby into that situation. And because you don't work, that means you're going to go run into social services for assistance, which means my taxes are going to go up because you can't keep your legs shut.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not happy for you.
I am not happy for you, boo.
No, you should not be
Wow.
bringing a baby into that situation. And I did not feel bad about saying no.
But let me tell you, you was the best friend that she could ever have. You want to know why?
Because you told her
Because you told her the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say all that to her, but she got mad when I said no. She was like,
But
that's
people-
hating. I'm like, no, that's not hating.
See, people get that confused.
I know, I can't stand
Like,
that.
please.
Hating and not caring are two different things.
Like, bro, I'm just telling you that from what I can see from the outside, your situation ain't tight. So for you to
Yes.
bring another kid into this world to have to go through this and carry some of your luggage, it's not fair. So therefore, I respect it.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? Sometimes you can't be too blunt.
I'm
And
super
that's
blunt.
what people, and that's unfortunately that's what people need, especially like people
Yes.
that feel like the world owes them something, right? And I think that's another part of dead parenting, right? Is that the other parent may be shooting down like certain things that the other parent is doing, but it's not at a certain level, it's not so consistent.
See, I want to get into that,
Ooh.
shutting them down, because I also wanted to speak about the different types of abuse, because people always assume physical when they hear abuse, but there's emotional abuse, mental abuse, and all of that affects a child also.
Yeah, because if you're not straight, you gotta realize one thing: kids know your vibe, they know your energy. So if you're not straight, and like I said, you giving direction laying down, right? What I'm gonna do when I go to school?
Do y'all feel that parents should be more sensitive to their daughters than sons?
I feel that there should be an equal balance. There should be that tough love.
But should you be more tough on your son because he's a boy?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like you should have a sternness and an equal medium, because boys and girls nowadays, right? They bound to do the same things. You know what I mean? Like, you're afraid that your son gonna go out there and get in a gang or get caught up in the streets or get caught up in some nonsense that's gonna lead him down a wrong path, right? So you're more strong on your son, like, listen, you gotta be this, you gotta be that, you gotta be this. But then with your daughter, you're like, oh, and you can't really do that. You gotta be equally stern with them. And you can't be overprotective with the girls, because if you lock them down, then when they finally get a breath of fresh air, bro, all them Cuban links gonna talk way better than anything else in the world.
The way I feel, you just need to be honest. You need to be 100% honest with your kids. You gotta just, cause see, first off, at the age that you experienced a lot of life situations. So you're gonna know the good and the bad. You're gonna learn from the decisions that you make. So when you raising both the men and the women, you got to be honest with them. It's no
Sugarcoating.
right, no sugarcoating, and it's always got to be the same level of sternness with both of them, because they both might do different things, but those different things can equal to like the trouble that they don't want to be in, a bad outcome. So it's better, similar outcome. So you have to be stern at the same with both of them.
Well, that's why I try to instill in my son's head, don't follow society, do your own thing. And although my son is a male of color, I'm not going to say his nationality, but he's a colored male, I'm trying to get him to realize that you don't have to grow up to just be in the NBA. I don't have anything against athletes or the NBA, but people just always want to assume that colored males are going to grow up to be athletes or in the music field. But I'm trying to explain to my son there's a lot more than that.
And so what's the lot more that you tell him that's out there?
He can be anything he wants to be.
I'm saying, all right, but this is what I'm saying to you, right?
What other options are you giving him?
Right. If you can't tell him he can be anything, right? But he sees the basketball light, he sees the music light, he see all the glitz and the glamour that's what's going on.
You see the Cubans,
right? He see all of that. But you telling him, but you telling him don't be that, or don't only look at that. There's something else.
Well, my son likes to build. He likes to play with Legos and build like cities. And so I tell him, like, you're gonna be mommy's architect when you get older. You're gonna do some construction work, which that would be nice too.
Yeah, I know that.
I see it. I see it. I mean, he's only 3, and I see he's using his skills and creativity to create stuff with these Legos. He likes to line stuff up and build.
Right.
So, I feel like it's what you install too. Mm-hmm. So, at 3, right? If you constantly just keeping them in positive energy, right, and constantly just installing value, constantly installing grind. Let him see your grind. Let him see you go to the bank, put the money in the bank. You know what I mean? Because like kids and people are visual learners. Mm-hmm. So if you take the kid on your errands and you show them how to move, they just see mommy grabbing money, put it in the bank. She going to pay bills. She doing this. She doing that. You know what that's going to do? They're going to be like, you know what? I have to get a job that's going to be enough for me to do because this is what my mom did.
100% facts. These kids, minds right now at that age, at 3 and 2, it's like a sponge. They absorb everything that they see.
Yes, which is why I say parents are supposed to be examples for their children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also wanted to ask, does a parent's mental health or self-esteem have an effect on how they raise their children?
Amen.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Facts.
You got to realize, excuse me, but you're installing everything that you have, you're installing in them. So if you can't look a person in the eyes and tell them like, yo, this is what it is, guess what? Your kid is never going to have that. And if you're constantly beating down on them like yo, you're not smart enough, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. You know what I mean? You just keep coming at them just negatively, guess what?
You're going to hurt them.
You're going to break them down to the point that they're not going to have the self-esteem that they need because they constantly hearing, yo, you ain't ish, you can't read, you can't do this, you can't do that. Only word they keep hearing is can't. And can't is not a real word. You can't demonstrate can't. You know, so like I feel like where you are at mentally, emotionally, and physically, right, is where your children are going to be at in the future. So if your actual self-worth today, right, is at an all-time low, right, and you just feel like your kid sees that. And guess what? Now they go into a personal depression because now they feel like, yo, Bobby hung up on me. Now I'm going to be sad and depressed. What's wrong with you? Oh, Bobby hung up on me. I'm just sick and tired of him hanging up on me.
I mean, I also want to show my son it's okay to have emotions.
No, I'm not saying.
But I'm saying like that it's okay for guys to have emotions also, because guys like to hide their feelings a lot of times.
No, guys hide their feelings from women. Okay? Because as you think I'm outside partying, having a good time, I'm gonna marry. Man, listen.
He's outside venting to his man about what he's going through.
I might put on a picture and smile like, yeah, I'm having my best life, but yo, y'all do the same damn thing.
But if you could do that with your guys, why can't you tell the woman that you're in a relationship with how you're feeling?
Some men don't want to feel weak. Some men don't want to get in that. Yeah.
It's not just that, Tiny. Some people don't know how to communicate.
True.
And some people may say, if I say one thing, you may take it as ammunition to use against me later.
But if it's somebody that you're in a committed relationship with, you should be able to speak to them.
Yeah, you know what?
Otherwise, you should not be with that person.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Sorry.
Go ahead, Tim.
How many times, right, you see a couple break up, and when they break up, all of a sudden, all on Instagram, all on Facebook, we telling all his deep secrets. How many times you saw that?
Or how
98% of the time.
Or how many times have you gotten into an argument and bombed a dude with something that he hit you with that you know was kind of sensitive just because he hit you with the bum chick or something like that?
You're gonna have situations where y'all are really trying to get under each other.
But why?
Yeah, but why we gotta do that?
It's natural.
Yeah, but
who wants to be in a happy, perfect, boring
No,
relationship?
but
yes, if you're all getting along all the time and happy and just perfect, that's kind of creepy.
That's him giving you everything you want, everything. Every time you see him, you smiling and you love everything he's giving you. Then you get bored. And you start an argument.
I'm not gonna start an argument just because.
Bro, you ain't never been in a real relationship, dude. Because it'd be that day that you just called your moms and everybody like, yo, I'm loving me some of her. And then she come home and you come home and she just bomb you some nonsense.
Yeah,
you be like, wait, I take back everything good I said about you this morning.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, she's saying that's boring,
bro. No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like even like in a friendship, right? If you don't get into like at least a heated discussion after a while, it just becoming like boring because like that person's like a yes man.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
And you don't need a yes man. You need somebody to kind of give you a little pull.
Yeah, and even in the real world,
you look the feistier of them all.
I don't agree.
Yeah, and you can't say yes to everything all your life. That'll drive you insane.
But we ain't talking about saying yes to everything, right?
We're
talking about
it's energy, it's vibe. Yeah. First of all, it stresses you out. It affects your health. Like, it's not fun.
But it's also not good for your health to hold everything in.
No, I'm not saying hold everything in.
No.
But there's a way that you say things.
If a couple's relationship involves domestic violence, does that determine the type of relationship their child is going to get in?
Absolutely.
Do you assume their daughter is going to get abused? Do you assume their son is going to be abusive? Is it going to cause them to have trust issues?
It gives them the green light in so many ways and forms, because like with the fact that your kid witnessed it, right, and depending on the age that they see it, right, it becomes a normal. It's a normality. This is how I treat my woman. This is how I treat my wife. When my wife don't agree with me or she start talking crazy, slap her across her head, and then she don't get it right.
Sometimes it could also be the other way around. Say, I see my parents go through this,
right?
So I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I don't like seeing parents argue, period, in front of their kids.
I think it's based on like the kids.
I think that's when grown people are in a grown argumentative state, it should stay there. They shouldn't be doing that in front of impressionable kids, because what they see, they're going to absorb. And 9 out of 10, they're going to wind up being the way they were doing. Yeah, if you understand what I'm saying.
Let me just say something. First of all, I feel like as human beings, we all have our moment where we lose our cool. And I think that it's important for us to not always walk around like trying to put a mask on or to hide things from.
I'm not talking about putting a mask on. I'm talking about there's certain situations that should be discussed in front of kids, and there's certain situations that it shouldn't be.
When you are developing interpersonal skill, you have to learn how to navigate through all types of scenario.
Yeah,
So it's
yes.
important for children to learn how to navigate through an argument and learn how to apologize or, hold themselves accountable. Like, all of that teaches them how to be a bigger and better person. I definitely feel like it's important to be clear on what you disclose to your child.
That argument, it falls down to other people. Yeah.
You're not listening to Bars and Hoops Radio right now. We talking parenting right now. If you just tuned in, you're into a good discussion. Definitely into a good discussion. Definitely call us up, 516-206-0711. One more time, that's 516-206-0711. Phone lines is open. We definitely want to hear your opinion. We definitely in a great conversation right now.
Absolutely. And what show is this?
What would Zay say? I was in a supermarket and my son was being a toddler. He was a little fussy.
Okay.
And this random lady came up to me and she goes, "You're doing a great job, Mom." That little comment right there meant a lot to me because she's seen that I'm trying. My son is just giving me a hard time at this moment. I needed that type of positive
Affirmation.
That's what I needed at that moment. I didn't even know this lady. She didn't even know what was going on in the situation.
I'm not big religious, right? But I believe in God and the universe, right? And sometimes they just send you messages that you just need to hear just to push you through.
Always.
You know what I mean? Like, that's like the guy that's telling you that you look good today, right? He's not always trying to pick you up. It might just been something about you that day that was just like, yo, you look amazing. Have a great day.
And may I add that these two ladies on the panel do look amazing.
Well, thank you.
And let me say this too. I'm going to go on record to let you know that I once was a deadbeat parent.
Okay.
Let's
and
get to it.
How did you overcome that? Actually, okay, let's begin with what caused you to be a deadbeat parent. What happened then? Then we'll get into
I
how
had
you
my
overcame
first
that.
son. I had my first son at 25.
Okay.
I would have to say we broke up when he was like about 2 years old. Now, 2 years old. So now, I'm living my life. You know what I'm saying? Me, so-called living my life. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I'm not seeing my son all the time. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see him enough. Let's put it that way. I ain't see him enough. I wasn't seeing him all the time. And then I have to say about between 4, maybe when they were 3 or 4, I seen them because I had them back to back. I seen my sons on Jamaica Ave, right? And they didn't look too good. That's when I changed everything. I got 3 sons, it's by the same woman, right? And when I saw them and they wasn't looking right, and they's part of me, that's when I changed my whole perspective.
But what was your reason for not being around?
Because I was young and stupid.
Just irresponsible.
Right. I was young and irresponsible. I was out doing me. I wasn't out. My mental was like, yo, they with their mother. They good. And from then on, I didn't leave my kids. I didn't not raise my kids. They know who their father is, and they move good.
It's not all about needs. Like, they could want you, and don't you want to be involved?
But
in it? I look at children as a blessing because I thought I couldn't have kids before I got pregnant with my son.
I was pushed into a deadbeat situation based off of the fact that my kid mother just didn't want me to really be involved, or she would have all these other reasons why my kid couldn't come out. So then you get pushed into a situation where you're like classified as a deadbeat. And then after a while, you get lost in the world because every time you try to come and get this kid, oh, we going somewhere. Where y'all going? Somewhere. Then you call the kid tomorrow. Yo, what y'all did yesterday? Nothing. Sat in the house. No. Your mom said y'all was going somewhere. No, we didn't. We sat in the house and watched TV. Then I went in front of the house. So it's like, you know, I feel like it all depends on like the situation, because if the breakup was hard and it was nasty and we both on the FU level, right? Then guess what? Sometimes the kid is going to get lost in that and it's not cool. But you have to, like Tiny said, you got to mature enough to be able to get past you and your partner's preference. If you do send out the check every week and you do what you're supposed to do monetarily, right? You're like, yo, look, bro, I just don't want to deal with the nonsense. I don't want to deal with the arguments or the nastiness, the bitterness.
Well, that's what I was saying, because people like to use that as an excuse. I don't want to deal with my child's parent. Then just take the child and
but you got to think about it. Listen, for you.
I know it's not. That's what I'm saying.
For you.
Take the child and go do your own
but
thing.
No, think about it like this. Hold on, TT, let me just get this real quick. Think about it like this, right? For you, right? I can pull up and pick up my kid whenever I want, and I can go, right? But for somebody else, they may be like, yo,
they gotta get
hell no.
The drill.
The kid ain't leaving the house Monday through Thursday. The kid got to be home by 6 o'clock. You bring your kid home at 6:05. There's issues. There's beef. Why are you bringing the kid at 6:05? I didn't know this was a job.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was punching in. Like, what happened? Like now we're out having fun. We got lost in time, but we're having fun. The kid's happy. He's fed and he came home. What's the problem?
And at that point, it's not even about the kid. It's about being spiteful. It's about, yo, I don't even like you with somebody else. So you know what? I'm gonna give you this anger towards you.
Or what about
every
the
time
war?
You come in? Yeah.
What about the battle of who's the better parent?
Right.
Oh, I feel like you be spoiling them, so I'm not gonna let them come out with you no more because you be spoiling them and they come back acting different. Yeah, because your ass is mean.
You know what I want to discuss? I know one woman her boyfriend, she said he loves her children. She has 3 children. She said her boyfriend loves all of them. He keeps in contact with them, keeps up with all their events, and her youngest child is 17, so they don't have to speak to him if they don't want to. But she failed to mention her relationship with his children, and his children are young. Isn't that kind of suspicious if you're never around your partner's children, or you never really see them interact with their children, regardless of how he is with your kids? Well, what about his children?
But again, that could be that whole situation of
the baby
not
mother
allowed.
acting up. Yeah,
you're not allowed.
She's probably bitter. She probably don't want her kids around.
But that could be something that you look at also. Why would you want to be with somebody who's like that? That could say a lot about that person.
But how?
But in this specific situation, the boyfriend's ex, who's the mother of his children, they live in his house, so they have some type of communication.
He don't want to see his kids out in the streets.
Nah, you're not getting it, T.
Yeah.
Like, the kids live in the house with son, but he has a girlfriend and a whole situation around the corner. But he never brings the kids from the house around the corner to chill with the lady. And like, they never go to the movies or they never go to family outing. I'm not gonna lie, right? I don't mean to be the party pooper, right? But it sounds like he's still in a relationship with the baby mother. And you gotta understand that if you bring the kid is going to talk about Miss Joanne.
Absolutely.
And they're going to talk about their new friend Calvin.
Yeah. You
get what I'm saying?
I'm not bringing them around there because I don't need them passing information that don't need to be heard. Or at the same token, maybe I feel my kids is not old enough to understand what's going on.
Don't want to confuse them.
I don't want to confuse them, because if they young and they know their mother and all they know is their father, he might keep it to the point where, like, yo, you know what? They're not old enough to know this situation. Maybe I gotta wait till they get old enough so they can understand then. But for now, they stay right there. I don't keep them out of the craziness.
If you're not with the mother, then that's one thing. Like I feel like if you're not with the mother, right, then your kids should be able to interact with your spouse or whoever you with.
Especially if it's somebody that you're in a long-term relationship.
Yeah, and like y'all,
this couple has been together for like 4 years now.
So
Yeah, you also got to think about what type of person, not shooting at the lady, but what type of person she is that he didn't feel comfortable enough to bring his kids around.
Absolutely.
You might curse a lot, and he got 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, and he doesn't want them around that.
Your children are a part of you, so if you're never bringing them around, like, oh, if y'all having like birthday parties or graduations or something.
But that's why I said personally, right? Because I'm not with one of my kids' moms, so I'm going to birthday parties. I'm pulling up with my gift, right? I might even come and give dude a pound, like, yo, what up, fam? How you doing? How's life? Everything good? Great. You know what I mean? That's me. I'm pulling up. I might even bring my cousins with me or somebody. Like, we coming to the party to chill. But if you're in a relationship, right, you can't bring your side chick to your main chick birthday party, your kid's birthday party.
I'm not talking about side chicks. I mean,
No,
But
actually
nah, you're not getting what I'm saying.
long-term
I'm
relationships.
saying that homegirl could have been a side chick in a long-term relationship for 4 years. But then that goes back to asking the question of, does she really want to interact with his little children? Like, yo, listen, that's two less birthday presents I gotta buy. That's 2 less
Right.
Christmas presents I gotta buy. That's 2 less kids I gotta babysit.
All my kids is grown. I don't need any more little kids.
Isn't the goal of building with somebody like eventually you want to live together, you want to have a serious committed relationship?
No,
I hate to say this.
the goal is to be at peace whoever you are with. If this means me not meeting the other little ones and I'm going to be in peace with who I'm with, I'm in peace. I'm
so
good.
you want to
That's
be
the
with
goal.
somebody for the rest of your life and y'all never live together?
I like the fact
Where-
that you can go home and I can go to my
Yeah.
own place.
But
Like-
forever? Like
But
that's,
Hey, what works for them works for them.
you know what I seen? I want to share a quote that Fabulous put on social media. When someone falls in love with your blossom and not your roots, they don't act the same when it gets cold.
yeah.
And that was deep because
Yeah.
I took that. Yes.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
you know exactly what that means.
That
That-
means if somebody only sees your
Beauty.
at your perfect
Beauty,
moments,
right?
then when they see you at your worst, they're not going to be prepared. They're not going to be
I-
know how to handle it.
That's when you fall in love with the beauty instead of the actual person.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
That's like women, right? Some women want the wedding and not the marriage.
They
You know
get
what
the
I mean?
wedding.
You want the
whole
white
nine.
gown. You want all your friends lined up. You want to walk down that aisle. You want to get kissed. You want to dance. You want to do all of that, right? But he told you when y'all sit at the front, through sickness and health, till death do us part, through good or bad, right? But now things are on the downside, and you like, you know what? I had enough of this one. I'm ready to go.
And because I'm such an, I don't want to say overprotective, but
Right.
out of the box thinking mother, that's why I started my LLC, which is called It's Not Rude, It's Smart. And it's to get security guards in daycares to protect them because I've seen too many incidents, you know, the Sandy Hook incident, I'm sure y'all are familiar with that.
Yeah, yeah.
The Faith Under Fire movie with Toni Braxton where someone came into the school and held the school up hostage with a gun. And these are because people are holding the doors, letting random people
What-
come in.
What's the
And
name of that movie?
Faith Under Fire.
Okay.
And my son has been through 3 daycares. Now, the first 2, I had to bring the staff's attention that people are holding the doors, letting random people come in when they should not be. Everyone needs to put their code in to unlock the door. And these parents are looking at me as if it's rude because I'm not holding the door for them. And I'm like, it's not rude, it's smart. Why would I hold the door for you when the doors are, otherwise what's the point of having locked doors and codes to get in? I don't care how innocent you look. I don't care if you have a child with you. I don't care if you have the Pope with you. You are not getting in with my code. That's no, for real. I mean, you don't need to be, if you belong here, you should have no problem getting in. So why do you need to get in with my code? I would prefer that you're not holding the door for me because then I would know my child is in a safe environment when I'm not around.
I feel like it comes with manners, in a sense.
This is not a public store where I'm holding
It's
the door
not
for you.
about-
This is
it's
a
not about a
daycare
public
with
store.
all these
You gotta realize-
defenseless babies.
I understand exactly what you're saying, right? But on a swing end of it, right? You gotta think about like a person's not personalizing exactly where they are. They're just doing the manner of gesture.
And that's
That
the issue.
if I
They're not-
normally
they're
walk
not
in the door,
thinking. That's
if I
the
walk in the
issue.
door and I see a woman behind me, I'm gonna hold the door open for her. If I'm sitting on the bus and you coming on the bus, I'm gonna give you my seat. That's just me though. So for me to walk in the daycare and I see you and I know you, right? I don't know you by your name, but I know you by your face because, you know, you got the little kid with the blue jacket that always wiping his nose. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hold the door for you.
That means nothing to me because, like I said, if you belong here, you should have no problem getting in. So why do you need to get in with my code?
So now my question to you is, right? So what would your service provide the daycares?
My service is to provide security guards to get familiar with the faces that are supposed to be there. If somebody does come who doesn't belong there, they can stop them at the door or alert police or anything.
So all right.
They're affordable security guards because daycares don't get any type of funding.
See, I was about to go there.
Everything is for kindergarten to 12th grade. So that's why I'm specifically focused on daycares. Although this happens at other places.
So who will fund this though? Who will fund the situation? Because right now, I'll be honest with you, if I own a daycare, right? For me, I'm paying teachers, I'm paying people to help out with the kids, right? Who said I have the expense to pay for an extra security guard to provide, especially in a calm neighborhood?
Well, that's why I'm working on building, like doing fundraising or building and like any type of way to get money for my.
And this one thing, if I'm in the hood, like if I'm in Roosevelt on Park Ave, or if I'm like in Hempstead on Terrace, like yeah, I'm definitely ordering security, like yeah, but. In a situation like you're in Baldwin or like you're in like East Meadow or somewhere like where it's really like calm.
But this can happen anywhere. Don't just assume that because you're in a safe environment that nothing's gonna happen. Because I know one woman who went into a daycare in Long Beach because she wanted to yell at the staff because they didn't have any minorities in the pictures in the windows. I'm like, how did you even get into the building? She's like, I just walked in. That's horrible.
I'm glad.
Yo,
I'm so glad I don't have no 3-year-olds at this particular time, man. I'm so glad because what y'all gotta go through is so nerve wracking. I know what I was going through. It was nerve wracking too, so I can understand that, you know. But you said you took your son out of 3 daycares.
I didn't take him out of daycares. I'm saying he's been through the 3 different daycares. Not because I took him out because I was.
I thought. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought you was pulling him out like,
right,
yo, bro.
Yeah, like yo.
That wasn't
Tiny
the
walked
case.
in without pulling the door and putting the code in. Nah, we out of here.
Yeah, we out of here.
We out of here.
That wasn't the situation. But when they don't have somebody at the front desk, that's another thing. You should always have somebody sitting at the front desk to be aware of those things.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of scary for some weirdo just to open up the door and come inside and be like, you.
Especially now
it's
with
like,
everybody wearing masks, so you don't really
now
know
exactly
who's coming in. What is the best way to discipline your child in public?
I second that one.
I third that one. I third that one.
But
Are y'all serious?
no,
I'm
I'm dead serious. No, all right, boom. It goes along with the tantrum and the behavior, right? Like if you bugging out, having like a full temper tantrum, throw yourself on the floor, yo, bro, I'm about to pound you out in front of everybody.
What if you just let them rock though and have their temper tantrum?
But you gotta realize like you letting them rock, but then you're
and then they're gonna get
actually
used to it
committing. You're actually letting them feel like this is how they can behave.
Now, to me, it depends on the age limit. It's the age limit with me. Toddlers, 2, even 3, wilding out. Okay, I'm letting them wild out.
I'm pinching and beating ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But when 4 hits, oh no, we in the car. Here's the rules when we go up in the store. I'm letting you know. Yeah, I'm letting you know right now. These are the rules when we go in the store.
God said coming over the big seat with the big joint.
That's right.
I've been there.
Yep.
I think it's easier for fathers to say that because how often are little kids acting up for their fathers in public?
Fact. So we lay down the rules.
You act right.
I'm not gonna lie. You're right. You're right.
I used to pick up my sons from the babysitter from some daycare.
Mm-hmm.
And when I picked them up, when they saw me walked in, they were lined up like they in the army. So they already know it's going down if I hear anything wrong with them. They used to say, they say, yo, your kids are so well behaved. How'd you do it? They used to say that. So we good. We talk. We have a conversation. We could. You know what I'm saying? I'm a no nonsense kind of person when it comes to that. So
I feel an act outs, no matter what age it is, definitely the pinch. Definitely
Doesn't
in
that
public.
make them cry more?
How
But
does the conversation look like to like explain to your child a healthier way to channel that?
Yeah, you can.
What does
right?
the conversation look like?
No, that comes from
conversation-
experience, man.
Yeah, I'm about to say it comes from experience, and it also comes from
what you do and what they see you do.
and your tolerance.
Yeah, because if they see you out of control at every situation, they're gonna think that's the way to do it. But if they see that you calm and you gonna really handle the situation, they watch how you handle a situation, it really rubs off. Find out what's that thing she really loves to do. What is it that she really loves to do? Right? Before you get physical, you threaten to take whatever she loves to do away.
Yeah.
Right? And the second that she steps out of bounds, look, you know what? Take it away for a week. No matter how hard it's going to hurt you, because it's going to hurt you worse than it's going to hurt her. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah,
Because
he's
you don't-
really
Just for a
sensitive.
second.
Huh?
I'm about to say, I say he's really sensitive because I'd be like, this your phone?
Let's
This is what
go.
you like?
It's coming with me.
Give me that.
Coming with me.
You cracked this
And I'm pulling the phone.
before
And
you
I'm
give it
pulling out
back.
the phone like, yo, what's the passcode?
Absolutely.
Hello? Yeah, she can't talk right now. She on punishment.
And that's
Have a
another
good life.
thing.
See, that's another
That's
thing with
another
these kids
thing.
on these phones.
Yeah, no, but that's another thing. The one thing they don't like to be is embarrassed.
Tiny. I
They don't.
hate to squat on what you say, right? But if you got a stubborn kid like my kids, right? You snatching something from them is okay, cool. I'll go sit in my room and mind my business. Like, you're not really moving me, bro, because like we said, it's a power struggle.
Yeah. it's
And
a
my
power
kids are
struggle.
very, I hate to say it, but from my 2-year-old to my 19-year-old, right? They all are stubborn. They're very stubborn. So you could take stuff from them, they'll spaz out, talk trash, walk in the room and just sit there.
Before we go out dealing with abusive parents, you know what I feel that is abusive? When you're a guy and you have 15 kids by 15 different baby mothers, I consider that very abusive to the kids. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel.
Why the kids? I'm just curious.
Why?
Yeah.
Yo, alright, 1 or 2 kids, okay. 2 different baby mothers, but we ain't talking about 2 different baby mothers. We talking about 15 different mothers.
We had 15 different nights
Who has that?
we didn't work
You know
back.
what's crazy while you're talking about having a bunch of kids and being abusive? I know this woman who her son's father would steal her birth control pills. Like, he would pop one out to like make her think she took one day. He was like messing with her mind. That's mental abuse to me.
Bro,
So
that's
not
sickness
fair.
Impregnate her?
That's sickness
Yes.
right there.
No,
For what?
that's not right. That's not a joke.
I know it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's like the different types of abuse. That's one.
Yeah.
You're making her like messing with her mind. Like, she's thinking, oh, okay, I did take it today. I guess if it's not in the pack.
But that's
then-
just like, but that's like on the other hand, right? When dude, he not the man that you really want him to be yet, right? So he talk about having that baby with you, and you like, yeah. But then you go in the bathroom every morning and pop that perk right before, like as you wake up, so that he doesn't know. So you hide the birth control, and he's shooting the joint up, and he's like, yo, why it's not working? And he's trying his hardest, like he's throwing his back out in it.
I
And
wouldn't say that's abuse. I feel like that's just being inauthentic.
And
Yeah,
he had
right.
somebody else pregnant at the same time, and then
hey, yo.
ended up being a deadbeat to both of the children. See, so that's why I don't
I-
understand what goes on.
Nobody really has the answer of why they don't want to.
The people who don't want to, they should have the
They
answer.
don't
Like,
have
why
an
don't you?
answer,
What
though.
What else are you doing? Especially last year when nothing was open. Like, you have all the
Yeah, I
time
can't
in the
front. I
world now.
can't front.
So,
I can't front.
and you know what's
How
another
to
thing?
parent
you don't need to give birth to be a parent. Because I used to hate when people said that to me before I was pregnant. Because like I told you, I thought I couldn't have kids. People say, well, you're not a mother or you're not a parent. That was so hurtful. You don't need to. You're still a parent if you adopt, if you're a foster parent.
If you're in somebody's relationship and you help out with their kid,
you're a parent.
Providing and supporting.
People need to think about that when they're saying comments like that.
Yeah.
That is hurtful.
Even when you post
I
someone
hate to say it, but I feel like that's a jab. I feel like that's a jab.
I know it was. I felt it.
Yeah, I feel like that's a jab. And even with the deadbeat thing.
I really like intentionally, no matter how immature you may be or how you may not be showing up, I feel like calling someone a deadbeat, like that has an impact. And our words have power.
But you choose to be a deadbeat. You don't choose to not be able to have children.
I can
to give birth.
If y'all speak throughout the week, right? When I say throughout the week, that doesn't mean it doesn't have to be every day. It could be every other day, every 3 days. But y'all speak at least 2 or 3 times out of the week. Like, how can he really be a deadbeat? Like, he's really trying to be active.
Because they talk 2 days, 3. Nah, man. Nah, I'm sorry. You got to do more than just talk. You have to, because you got to be an example of what you want your kids to be.
If you're locked up,
you know
and
what
you're
I'm
speaking to your child,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, let's just take that. Let's just use that for example, right? Yo, you're locked up, but you're calling in every chance you get. You could be calling anybody, or you could just be on the phone like, yo, I just want to hear Shorty voice.
But I'm not.
And you're like, yo, put little man on the phone. Let me He's still trying to be a part.
Yeah, but to me, that's not a deadbeat. That the circumstances of what he got into led him to the point where he couldn't see his kids. It ain't like I'm talking about people that their kids is right there, two houses down, and they don't take the time to go and be involved in their kids. That's a deadbeat right there.
That we have this term deadbeat is just like that, like the answer of like how to support the deadbeats. You feel me? Like
you don't. I
hate to say it, but you got to create program or create path.
You don't support the deadbeats.
No, you have to support. If
you do.
You have to.
You have to encourage. You have to encourage your deadbeat to come back to the other side.
And what I said, I was a deadbeat.
You didn't realize you were.
I didn't realize.
But you did know that you weren't involved in your children's life. What did you consider? Yes,
I thought I was a dad. I thought I was a dad, and I was just out and about.
No, yeah,
I was just handling my business.
I thought I was the father and everything like that. When they saw me, they loved. When they saw me, but I didn't. Provide. I didn't. Now I ain't gonna say I didn't provide because I was paying child support. I gave the money whenever. I just wasn't involved. You know what I'm saying? Like I should have been. Where's the joke at? Where's the joke, man? I missed it.
It was just a moment. We're gonna leave it at that.
I want to know what it was. It was like the joke is on me.
That's another thing I was going to say, that guys think that just because they pay child support or it gets taken out of their paychecks that they're a father.
I hate you so much.
Did you guys watch the movie?
Hold on.
Y'all read out of course? She said garnishment is not paying child support. She said if they have to take it before you get paid, that means you're not paying it.
Yeah, because I know somebody's going to try to use it as an excuse. Well, I pay child support. You don't voluntarily pay.
Wait, hold on.
The government, the court's taking out of your paycheck.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your significant other or the baby's mother on what they call a public assistance, right? It's not her taking you to court. It's the actual people that's paying out the public assistance doing that. So what they was doing to me was they was taking out $104 a week out of my check, and they was only giving her $50 every 2 weeks out of that 104.
Damn.
She would have got more money from me if we would have discussed it or whatever. But because she was on public assistance, it didn't matter. Once you're on public assistance and they take you to court, it's on them and what they decide.
Nah, but also like the garnishment sometimes is just a preference that the courts have, because you know they could send you the receipt every week and tell you, yo, you got to pay this, or they could just sit there and be like, yo, look, we taking ours off the top like we do with taxes. And sometimes you don't have an opinion, because some guys would be like, yo, I'd rather pay it out of pocket so that you're not taking out my check, so that everybody at my job not in my business.
That's
Right.
when they be like, oh, my back is broken, or I can't work.
Oh,
or
damn.
something like that.
Damn, no, I can't front. I know a couple of those too. I know a couple of those
Absolutely.
too. Like
Y'all
I
still
said,
have it in your mind that it's only a guy thing. There are deadbeat mothers also.
Absolutely.
I know.
People don't really pay
I
attention
know.
to that.
Trust me, I'm about to get my child support
being
back
a
for that.
deadbeat-
So if something happens, like if the mother loses her job or she gets into an accident or her house burns down, do you feel like the guy should step in and
Amen.
provide a place for them to stay, or should be like, well, I'm not responsible for you?
No.
No, I'm gonna keep it super buck. Right? My daughter mother got evicted from her crib, right? I did not think about her, my daughter's mother. I said I will take my kid and I will bring her into my household, and she will live here and she will be pampered and provide everything that she's needed. Right? At the end of the day, again, I don't owe you that. You have to figure out how you're going to get back on your feet. But I'm here to support you in the sense that I'm going to take the kid and all the responsibilities and let you get on your feet.
Okay. Or even if they don't go stay with you, would you contribute to helping pay for a hotel room? Or
No,
I'll
they
be
come
honest
and
with you.
staying with
No,
me.
but I'm be honest with you. Me personally, no, because I have a place for you to stay.
Absolutely. I got
And
room.
again, like I said, maybe the first couple of nights I might be nice enough, throw you a couple of dollars, stay at a hotel, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not here to take care of you, right? We had a kid together. So you're not my girlfriend, or you're not my real responsibility. My kid is my responsibility.
Absolutely.
So at the end of the day, right? Yeah, as a friend, I'm going to hold you down for a day or two. But after that, you got to go to social service. You got to go to whoever and let them help you get right.
Right.
But have no fear. The kids are staying here. My kid don't need to go sleep in the shelter. They don't need to sign in. They don't need to do none of that. You know what I mean? You go do that. You stack your money up and you get your thoughts together. You figure out what you're going to do and figure out what happened that you got into this situation.
So
I need you to do that.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I need you to do that.
All right, so
I have fun, Zay. I have fun.
Yo, thank you for having me, seriously.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us. Y'all had me laughing and had me thinking. And we definitely got things out there that people needed to hear, which is basically the goal of my show.
Mhm.
So we're going to wrap it up now. So everybody, remember, follow at What Would Zay Say on Instagram.
What would they say?
And continue to keep up with my show, because I'm continuing to come with fire and unanswered questions.
That's right.
So thank you to
Oh.
all my listeners.
Find me Instagram at djbanks.im. And my final thoughts is, guys, no matter what, come up with a game plan. Come up with a game plan to switch your deadbeats into active parents.
Absolutely.
I like the
Facts.
takeaway. Let's go. Who's next?
Okay. Unorganized behavior on IG. Check me out.
You can join me within my journey at Harmonizing Hill with Sai, SIAH, on IG. It's so important to continue to develop self so that we can continue to be the change that we wish to see within our future generations. Amen.
Hey.
Good night to all. And remember, the left one's the break.